Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be flying the Flight Factor Boeing 757 based on popular vote here on the channel. I want to welcome all of you guys to this live stream. Coffee of sorts. Welcome aboard. Wilford Kopp, how are you doing, my friend? Boeing Corp Mark from Logan, New Jersey. Welcome aboard, my friend, and thank you very much for your continued support. William from Missouri. Hello, my friend. Welcome, Stan. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us, Stan. And we have with us Sim Aviation from, flying to your home airport. That is, yeah. And we have with us today also, let's see here. We have Stefanos. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for your support. Omar Flight, thank you very much for your support. Alex, welcome, and thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. Bill Barrett, welcome. Aviaton. Hello, my friend. Philip and Pilot Denzera. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. We have with us also from the UK, M. Sim. Welcome. Glad to have you here with us. So, guys, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be flying from Liege Airport in Belgium. This is normally a scheduled cargo flight by Iceland Air, but we're going to fly the passenger variant because I do not have the cargo variant of the 757 by Flight Factor. And as an added bonus for this live stream, I've installed Orbx True Earth for the entire United Kingdom. So that's central, south, and north. I do not know how it will behave in terms of FPS, performance, and the like. But we'll see how it all works out in the end. And ladies and gentlemen, HD Simulation is in the house, as well as my dear friend Carl Childers. Welcome aboard. Now, guys, I do want to make a small sort of not an announcement, but I'll get to this during the stream about the AirSim 3D Cessna Citation. I'll show you the post that I put there and the post, and we'll talk a little bit about that and about my sort of first impressions. And yeah, I have to kind of clear this up because the developers seems to be really upset, but that doesn't change my stance as far as the aircraft is concerned. And at the end of the stream, if you guys would like to stick around, I will load up their Cessna, which, by the way, appears to be a complex aircraft in terms of the simulation of systems, but I will tell you why I do not recommend the aircraft at the end of this stream. Stefanos, you are flying in my area. I'm in Brussels, Belgium. Oh, how cool. John. Hello, John. And we have you with us today from England. All right. Let's get things started. We are in the cockpit of the 757. I love the cockpit of the 757. I think Flight Factor has done a really good job over the years updating the aircraft to look really good. And yeah, let's get things started. We're going to bring the electronic flight bag here, and we're going to set up our load and balance. So we're going to go to the operations here. And I already have the stairs, fuel truck, and passenger bus already loaded. So let's bring up our friendly Abby tab and take a look at our flight plan. All right, let's see here. Well, we can't do that. All right, let's go to the next page. Let's see. No, payload should be before that. There we go. All right. So I'll bring this here so you guys can follow along. So passengers 209. Now, the aircraft cannot take more than 170 passengers for some reason. I guess there is a mismatch between what this 200, the configuration of this 200 aircraft as opposed to what's in SimBrief for the profile. So we're just going to go ahead and do full load of passengers, 170. The current cargo is 5,300, so 5,300 for the cargo, and the fuel weight is reporting 7.7, which is not sufficient according to you know, again, I think the profile, there's a mismatch in the profile. So we are going to put 9,000 kilos of fuel, and now we can click on load. It says loading the plane, please wait. Please make sure that if you're flying the 757, any flight factor aircraft, and you want to load the passenger's fuel truck, you have to have the stairs fuel truck passenger bus, or if you don't want to bother with this, just say gate configuration, then you can load the aircraft. So now the aircraft is loading, and while all of that is taking place, let's go ahead and power up the aircraft. We're going to start it, of course, from its cold and dark state. First, I think first battery is on, standby power to auto, APU gen is on, bus ties are on, utility buses are on, the gens can remain off at this time, and let's go ahead and start the APU. Start. And it takes a little bit of time to start the APU. If the ATC chatter is too loud for you guys, let me know. I can always bring it down. J. Joe, hello, my friend. Evening to you, my friend. Welcome aboard. I'm just waiting for the 777 version 2. I am too. I got the 757 series a few weeks ago, and it was on sale. How do you like it, Alex? All right, let's take a look here. APU is still coming up. Cancel the master caution. We're going to be doing 32,000 today, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the time here to set this to 32,000 feet. All right, 32 is set. I love how the numbers jump. All right, we have, again, very nice sounds on this aircraft. I like the sounds. The cockpit sounds are reasonable, especially the ambient cockpit sounds. The switches can use some work, but the ambient sounds are quite good. Well, let's bring this up here. We have our display with the hydraulic quantity. Hydraulic pressure obviously is 0 at this point. All the systems are coming up. All right, perfect. Let's go to the overhead panel. We're going to set the ADIRS to nav mode, and we're going to set this here so we know how long it will take before full alignment. And let's come here, yaw dampers can go on, and let's see here, after fuel pump, everything here looks good. We're going to come here and turn on the window heat, non-smoking signs and fasten seatbelt signs are on, and the altitude control is set to auto. Flight deck temperatures, we're going to set everything to auto here as well. All right, auto. All right, excellent. Trim air, recirc fans, and let's turn on the packs. APU isolation valves are on, and now we can hear the sound of the APU coming on. Excellent. All right, if we look up here, 7 minutes until full alignment. Let's arm the emergency lights. Emergency lights are now armed, and everything here, position lights can go on as well. All right, perfect. So everything is good. We have established electrical power to the aircraft, and now we can bring up the MCDU or the FMC and bring up the flight plan as well, and start entering the flight plan. Perfect. Let me go to the previous page. Let's see here. Block fuel must be on the next page. All right, here's our flight plan. So flight plan is quite simple. We're going to be departing Liege Airport in Belgium, runway 22 left through the Bob 8 Sierra departure, through the Bob transition to Lima 608, exit at Dinant, and then airway Lima 610 to Hemel, Tango 420 airway, exiting at Welland, and then direct to East Midlands Airport, runway 27. I believe this is an ILS approach. Rich, hello Rich, welcome aboard. I'm really enjoying my Fearless 747 giveaway prize. Thank you very much. You're most welcome, Rich. I hope you enjoy it. Q8, I love how you press the button on the nav radio on Glare Shield too many times. It breaks and springs out. Did to me. All right. So let's go to the FMC, and we're going to go to position in it. Reference airport is Echo Bravo Lima Golf. And this is the current position. Let's go to the route. And the origin airport, again, Liege Airport, very well-known airport for cargo operations in the Golden Triangle in Europe. And of course, we're going to East Midlands Echo Golf November X-ray. The flight number today, we can grab that from the first page. If we go up here, we are Iceland Air flight 741. 741. Excellent. And then we can go back to the departure and arrival. Right, so we are going to be departing today runway 22 left through the Bub Sierra. Bub 8 Sierra, that's the first one here. And then we're going to go to the route, next page. From the Bub transition, Lima 608. And then we're going to exit Simon Air DNUT. And then Lima 610. Lima 610. Air Chris 001, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Lewis, hello Lewis, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much. You've been a loyal supporter of the channel. Lewis, thank you very much. Grass Valley, California. Reduce it. All right, let me reduce the chatter. All right, let me go to XATC chatter. Toggle the control panel. All right, we'll take it to 31. All right, hopefully that's better. All right, so DNUT and then Lima 610. And then from Lima 610, we're going to exit at Hemel. I'm just like you guys by there wondering how Orbex True Earth UK is going to look like today in this live stream. I haven't tested it, I just installed it. I didn't really have time to test that much, so hopefully it works okay. Tango 420 and Welland. All right, Welland. Excellent. And then we're going to go to the arrival, and the arrival is going to be, we're going to fly direct from Welland to East Midlands runway 27, ILS 27, and let's see if there are any transitions that we need to input. Let's see here, that's TOD, Hemel, Bozad, direct Welland. So from Welland, so routes, activate, and execute. Let's take a quick look at our flight plan. Make sure there is one discontinuity, which is here. We're going to select that and clear it. All right, so from Welland, we're going to fly to the center fix for runway 27, then the final fix, and then finally East Midlands Airport, runway 27. Perfect. All right. We can go to the zero fuel and set the reserves. Final reserves today is going to be, let's see here, previous page. All right, there we go. The final reserves would be the alternate, which is 141428, that's 29, so 2.9 for the reserves. Final cruise altitude for this flight today is 32,000 feet, 32,000 feet, and the cost index is 82. Brilliant. Cruise wind 28669, 28. Again, says insufficient fuel. So what we can do is we can come here, and if this happens to you guys, this is how you deal with this situation. Go to the ground, and yeah, it's not liking 9,000, which is, by the way, I think is sufficient, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and put 11,000 and optimize CG, and then you don't do load unload because that would unload the aircraft. You would say retouch load, and now it says loading the plane, and it will add the required fuel to the aircraft, and hopefully will that message will disappear. Danny Roble, hello my friend. Any builds are doing KJFK for MSFS, by the way. They just released some previous video. Could it, what does it say here? Some previous video. Could it be that I'm a little behind on the news, but was it? No, I think you're pretty much up to date, Danny. Hello, Q8. Are you doing today? Today, last week, we weren't feeling too well, as far as I remember. I was not doing very well. Yeah, I was. I wasn't feeling well. I'm doing much better. Thanks for asking. I appreciate your concern. Clear engine one. I'm jealous to be using MSFS. Justin, how are you doing? I'm waiting for a good 777. Yep. Any ideas when a good 777 come out? Justin Saunders, thank you very much first for your support, sir. I have no idea. But hopefully Flight Factor will let us know soon. All right, 286 for the wind and 69 speed. That's the wind speed. All right, is all set, and looks like fuel is again. You can still see that everything is still loading. So we'll have the final. We'll give it just a little bit of time. Because that will affect our speeds. But I think in terms of, I think we should be fine now. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to go to the weather page. All right. And let's see here. Let's go to the next page. Nope. There we go. Excellent. So the departure weather here at Liege Airport is 180-13 knots. Ooh, a bit of a windy departure there. It's going to be, it looks like, and fuel clouds at 2,000, scattered at 2,800. Current temperature is 15 Celsius, and the QNH is 1012. No significant change in the next couple of hours. So let's just put this away. We're going to come here and change the. Let me just bring this up so you guys can see what I'm doing. I know it's kind of hard to see, so I'll just pop things up. So 1012 is the QNH, and I love how it just pops it up when, you know, entering the QNH. And we'll do the same thing on the first officer side here. Let me again bring this up so you guys can see it. And we're going to change this to HPA and 1012. There we go, 1012. Excellent. So we've set the altimeter. We can remove the displays now. And we come back to our, still adding up fuel to the aircraft, 11.8 kilos. You can see the gross weight also increasing. All right. Okay, excellent. All right, that's close enough. Let's go to takeoff and flap setting. We're going to do flaps 5 today. CG is 13, trim is 6.2. Select the speeds on, and we have a V1 of 141, V rotate 144, and V2 149, and that has automatically been set here for us. Let's turn on our flight directors on both sides. Auto brakes to rejected takeoff. And we're going to turn on the red beacon light, and the pre-flight is now complete. Perfect. All right, we are ready, and we're going to come to the next FMC unit, and we're going to set this on climb. All right, and another thing you need to do is we need to make sure this is on auto. All right, and I'm not sure what this does, but it's a computer that needs to go on auto. So we've set that, and everything now is ready for engine start. Perfect. Alrighty. Very nice cockpit, really. Flight Factor has really done a very good job here. Alright, so we're going to come back to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on our hydraulic pumps, and you can notice the beautiful sounds there. We're going to turn on the engine generators. Of course, you can see it says fail. And as soon as we turn on the bleeds, it would power up, the generators would take over from the APU. So everything here looks good. Everything looks good here. Let's turn on the fuel pumps. Fuel pumps are set, and everything here is good. Everything here is good. We're going to turn off the packs for engine start. So we're going to turn both packs off. And now let's call the pushback truck. We're going to push nose to the left, tail to the right. Pushback, start pushback.
Run to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Last time, I think it gave me issues. Thank you very much for your donation to the Fly Lilo project. Last time I had issues, so let me see if I can use this pushback. All right, we'll use this pushback. All right. Much better. The better pushback doesn't work well with this aircraft for some reason. Pushback truck in operation. All right. So let's see if it works. We're going to release the parking brake. And let's see what happens here. Ah. We need to come to the operations. Let's close all the doors. Let's go to the ground and remove all. Okay. And now we can... Let's just make sure that the tug is connected, which it is. All right. And let's see here. Let's go to ground and pull forward. There we go. And it's pulling the aircraft. I don't think... we can use the rudder to push the aircraft, and we can also start our engines. So we're going to start with the engine number 2, or the right engine first. Not sure how we can stop the pushback now. But let's see if hitting the brake. Alright, looks like pulling the brake works. Let's see if... Alright, so we need to get rid of the pushback truck. Yeah, that's one thing is currently lacking, I think, in X-Plane. Is the fact that we do not have a proper... How do I get rid of it now? Right, parking brake is set. So let me go to ground. Alright. There we go, finally. Alright, let's give the right engine fuel. Alright, I love the sounds. I love those sounds when the engines start. It's just when the generators take over, it's just, the sounds are so nice. I haven't had any problems with better pushback in X-Plane 12. I haven't. Overall, it works pretty well, but with this aircraft, it had some issues. So, all right, let's go ahead and start the left engine. Let's go to ground. Right, and we can wait for 20% of N2 and then start. All right, we can give it fuel. There we go. The trim today, if we go here to, let's see, trim is 6.2. All right, so if we come down here and set this to 6.2. All right, that's about right. Okay, perfect. And it looks like we have a good start on the left engine as well. Brilliant. We can now turn on the engine bleeds. Packs are on. APU off. And APU off here as well. And everything is good. Alright. Recall checked. Parking brake. And we can set our flaps to flaps 5. Takes a little bit of time to... Alright, here you can see the flaps now extending. There you go. Alright, back in the cockpit. Looks like it's kind of raining a little bit. Alright, so everything is ready to go. Let's turn on the... Runway turn-off lights are on, and nose gear on as well, and we are ready to taxi to the runway. Excellent. Clear engine 1, Imagine 757 Max. Fly Lilo is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Fly Lilo, for stopping by. DB Vetter, hello, my friend. Is random, that is correct. Its wackiness is absolutely random. Papa Charlie, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. All right, let's give it some power. And the aircraft wants to move, but it's not doing it yet. All right, here we go. Nice sounds. The engine sounds are nice. Very pleasant aircraft to fly. The Flight Factor 757. Yeah. Looks like there's an aircraft coming to land now. Thank you very much, DB Vetter. I'm going to get the 757 next time it goes on sale. That's probably not a bad idea. Yeah, it's a good aircraft. It's a good aircraft. By the way, just from the Flight Factor perspective, the best aircraft done by Flight Factor, in my view, is their 767-400. I believe it is by far their best work in all departments. The sounds, the textures, the fidelity, the system simulation is just really a very well done aircraft. And this one is my favorite in terms of the shape out of the Flight Factor lineup. Now guys, one thing that is very important, I think the same discussion I've had with Marco, the developer, the X-Craft developer of their upcoming Embraer. And when developers develop, they some developers, not all developers, but the serious developers, I must say, they are, they look at the aspects of simulation, and that is okay, and I appreciate that a lot. But when I do reviews of aircraft, I do it from the flight simmer perspective. I know what flight simulation enthusiasts would like to see, and I know if the add-on is going to work for them or not. And this is in response to the AirSim 3D post that they put. By the way, I've only done a community post, and I posted on Twitter simply because many have been asking me. I've received emails about the aircraft. What do you think of it? And I've had this aircraft on the day it was released, and I've done a couple of flights with it. And the developer has attacked me on the community post, calling they called the community post a clickbait. That they don't appreciate the clickbait, and that my comments were because I didn't know how to fly the aircraft, and that is okay. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that they say this. They're entitled. I in fact pinned their message for maybe people will find their comments useful, and that's okay. And I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about once we are airborne. But here's the thing. Camilo, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Could you recommend me pages of the current METAR in Europe? See, I'm good. Zastoya, how are you doing, my friend? I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I'll show you guys the post, and I'll show you my response as well. But the thing of the matter is, I've had, for example, when the TOLUS came out, when the TOLUS A340 came out, yes, it's a study level simulation of the TOLUS, but I've criticized the TOLUS heavily, and I've never seen anyone from the TOLUS team come and say, oh, this is clickbait, that is that, you don't know how to fly the aircraft. What they simply said is that we appreciate your feedback, positive or negative, and they took the feedback to heart, and they actually made changes, and they released a beautiful tolless A320neo that is just really an excellent add-on for X-Plane 12. And I do understand that developers can get very protective and very defensive, and that's okay. But my responsibility as a content creator, as a YouTuber, and as Q8 pilot is that I am very honest and I give very unbiased reviews based on the standards I have set, which I think all of you guys are subscribers to the channel because of those standards. So let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. Anti-collision lights are on, and we are, ladies and gentlemen, good to go. We're going to arm the auto throttle is armed, parking brake released, and we are good to go. All right, let's give it power. The tolless is great, but the price makes it unaffordable for most users, including me. And that's why I do giveaways to give away these aircraft on the channel. And yeah, all right, we're entering runway 22 left in preparation for departure. Look at this aircraft. Nice engine sound. All right, we are lined up. We're gonna go to Toga, and let's go. All right. Airspeed alive. Definitely strong wind. 13-knot wind today. I don't know why we didn't get our V speeds there in the display. Right. Positive rate. Gears going up. And flyby. Oh yeah. Right, speed check, flaps 1. And flaps up. Looking good. LNAV, VNAV, and Command A is engaged. And we have Airbus 001 just came in with a 22 super chat. Thank you very much, sir, for your generosity and your support. I appreciate it. V-speeds have to be set manual in the console. I see. All right, thanks for that. I'll remember that next time. Techie Tecmo, member for 7 months. Thank you very much for your continued support, sir. When will you do the next A350 flight? Also, are you using Traffic Global? I am using Traffic Global, yes. And barrel reference standard. So let's set that to standard on the first officer and captain sides. Excellent. Thank you very much, Techie Tecmo, for your continued support. 7 months. Diego, what is the annoying bell that sounds every 5 to 10 minutes? Ah, that would be the crew member trying to tell us something. So normally I execute him right after takeoff, but today we'll just leave him. That's okay. All right, we continue to climb. Let's increase the range here a little bit. There we can see our flight plan better. There you can see it here. The avionics very advanced on the 757. The entire suite, I think. Techie Tecmo just gifted 1 Q8 pilot membership. Thank you so much, sir. That is very kind of you. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. And whoever receives it, please make sure you thank Techie Tecmo. Sorry this happened to you, Q8. You are my favorite YouTube creator, not just for flight sim, but because you're a genuine, straight-up guy. They're lost for reaching poorly. Just keep doing. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. That's okay. That's okay. How are you doing? Love this plane. Hey, Ja. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate it. Q8, what's your favorite aircraft for X-Plane 12? X-Plane 12. Well, for X-Plane 12, I have to say that my absolute favorite is the Dash 8 by Flight Jason. That would be my absolute... That, by the way, click spot is not right. There we go. Yeah, the Dash 8 Q400 by Flight Jason is my absolute favorite aircraft. Guys, look at the clouds in X-Plane 12 now. They actually look pretty decent. Yeah, I like them. Let's take a look at the outside real quick. Look at that. Definitely getting there. Any news on the Hotstar TBM? I don't have any news there. No, sorry. My clouds don't look that good, and I have them on max. Definitely, N-Fly Robin, X-Plane 12 is getting better, for sure. How long is the flight? Will be dark on arrival. Resi, the flight isn't very long. It's actually a pretty short flight. So I don't think it will be nighttime when we arrive. And we're using all default today. 3D simmer citation. Yeah. Yeah, well, we're going to talk a little about that. All right. So as we climb, let me guys show you just very quickly what... so let me go here and go to my YouTube channel. Now, I don't know how is this, you know, clickbait, but... yeah, that's okay. You guys can see this. That's fine. All right, so let's go to the community tab. All right, so this is what I have, because a lot of people have sent me messages. So I said, dear friends, I have purchased this aircraft, and it's in its current state, it's not worth its asking price. The model, sounds, and systems are not up to the standard. Some things are broken too. I will give the developer a little while to improve and fix some of the issues before making a final review. Until then, I recommend against buying this aircraft. That is my statement on the channel. And the guys over at AirSim3D, the maker of the aircraft, has come back and said, I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll read the first part here. We gladly listen to all feedback. Obviously you don't. But we have to respectfully push back on this clickbait. Now, how is this clickbait on a community post? I mean, come on, get real, guys. But don't take our word for it. We'll let the recommendations from real jet charter companies, real awards, and real customers' voice speaks for us, all on our support page to verify, all unsolicited to express their positive, and that's fine. And that's okay if, you know, those people are, you know, having a ball with this add-on, that's okay. Sad to have you probably stopped some pilots from experiencing a 99 bug-free from day one release. Deeply immersive study level. All right, deeply immersive. No, it's not deeply immersive. Study level. It probably is study level. Highly authentic replica of the Citation in X-Plane. All right. So while you may have the right to your opinion, your unsupported statements do not reflect reality. All right. After this stream, I'm going to load up the plane, and you guys judge with me if what I'm saying is right or not. From the flight simmer perspective, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And that's the point of contention between myself and many developers. They go and develop things and they put complex systems, And then, they forget about some important things. Here are some facts and reviews from pilots who probably took the time to really learn how to fly this jet. And they're saying here again, folks, please do your own homework and don't rely on this. Reach out to us on the explain.org AirSim3D support page if you have any questions, which is okay. And I pinned their message, by the way. So just so that they don't, out of respect for the developer, I've pinned their message. But I mean, AirStream3D, if you ever read or hear this stream out and you hear my comments, a clickbait is not when I put this on my community post, is when I create a video and name it the worst airplane, or don't buy this airplane, or this is a really study level aircraft with substandard sounds and textures and 3D modeling, then that would be probably maybe a clickbait, but still true statement in my view. So, but anyway, out of respect for them and for the work that they've done, I've pinned their message here. So, so yeah. Yeah, crazy. That's the thing. Yeah, they call this a clickbait, but that's okay. And that's what I wanted to say. And we are now continuing our climb. And guys, I've had many opportunities to create a lot of it. Sad to see that the devs are upset about that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's their right. They probably worked very hard on their aircraft, which, by the way, has some good features. And normally, folks, when I review aircraft, let me tell you what I do. I normally start with giving any aircraft a 10 out of 10. So I start at the 10 mark, and then I start looking at things and deducting points accordingly. And because I have developed very specific standards for how I review the aircraft, then, for example, I'll tell you, flight simmers, I take the stance of the general public, the masses, okay? I don't go for specifics. Specifics in terms of, for example, will a real-world pilot enjoy the 757? Some actually real-world 757 pilots said that this aircraft is not good. We are landing in probably 40 minutes or so. But for example, on the Challenger, everyone vouches for that aircraft. Probably the single most sophisticated simulation available today in the flight sim world, and everybody vouches for that. It's got very authentic sounds. It's got beautiful texturing, the passenger cabin, the detailing inside and out, and the documentation that comes with it is exceptional. Very, very good. Interaction with FOB. Just really different level aircraft altogether. How are you going to improve a product or add on? How ET on flight? Okay. So if we look here, guys, we are approximately 30 minutes to arrival into East Midlands. Approximately 30 minutes. Right, looks like there's some rain and some heavy clouds there. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the engine and wing anti-ice. Here, let's take a look at the outside real quick. You can see there some ugly clouds, but overall it's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and execute this guy because he's starting to annoy me now. All right, he's been executed. Perfect. No more ding ding. And how come you don't do long flights? James, the reason I don't do long haul flights is the fact that I really do not have a lot of time to do that. So long haul flights require a lot of time. And I work very long hours, and I have a very tiring job. So, so for that reason, I really just don't have the energy to do those really long-haul flights. You could turn off the cabin announcements by turning down the volume. Yeah, it's I just basically executed the flight attendant there so that he doesn't bother us with his gibberish. All right. So here we're looking, we're climbing to 32,000 feet. We're almost at our cruise altitude and looking good. Actually, the clouds look pretty decent as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with whatever Laminar is doing. And I like this avionics system by Flight Factor. By the way, this is an add-on, so you have to purchase it. It's an upgrade to their existing aircraft. Jan, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. So, yeah. So, of the Flight Factor lineup, definitely my absolute favorite is the 767-400ER. From the tallest lineup recently, I vouch for the tallest A320. And by the way, V1 Simulations have declared as a great training tool, which I kind of tend to agree there, because it is just really the way the failures are simulated in that aircraft is just absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed Flight Deck to Sims comparison between the Zibo and PMDG 737-800, and it wasn't very surprising to see that actually the Zibo has the depth of simulation of the Zibo is in some areas is actually better than the PMDG, which is very cool. My job is this: customer service and interaction. Their response is exactly how not to respond in the PR world. Shame on them. Professionals don't react to valid criticism that way. Techie Tecmo, I agree there with you, but I'll tell you one thing, which I understand. Okay, I never, by the way, bash developers or anything like that, and for the most part, developers take a lot of pride in what they've accomplished. And that's okay, because I was a developer once, and I remember, creating some crappy things that I was very proud about. But will we review the Flight Factor? Absolutely, absolutely. Omar Flight just upgraded his membership to commercial pilot. Thank you very much, sir, for your continued support. I appreciate it. James Menton, what happened about the clickbait or something? Yeah, you can go you can rewind a bit to the stream and read it. And I'll bring the aircraft, by the way, right after we land. Hi Q8, are you on default weather or active sky? I'm on default weather, IFR captain. I tend to use it. Active sky takes a little bit of CPU power. So I prefer that when I'm using Streamlabs OBS to stream, that I use default weather just to save on, on compute power. Max Flute, hello my friend. What do you think about the Leonardo MD-82 for MSF? It's quite expensive. It's absolutely a joy of an aircraft. I love it. All right, here is the top of descent, as you can see here. So if we go here to... we don't need that, we need this. So if I go to program, and it shows things are kind of 43, I think, nautical miles. Why is it not showing? Right, let me do this, go to program. No, it's just all right. So we're gonna go ahead and set this. Let me take this down to 2,000. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna reset the MCP altitude to 2,000 feet. As you can see, guys, this is a very short flight. So 2,000 is set. We're going to go to the approach reference. We're going to set our ILS frequency, which is set here, 109.35. All right, and the approach course is 268. 268. 268. All right. So there we go. 268 is set. There's a bit of a flicker there in the display. As you can see here, I'm not sure, we have two TDs, one here, one here. So I'm not sure if this is a bug or something is off for sure. All right, let's bring this back on. cruise. There we go. All right. So probably there's something off with the displays here. I hope the sim doesn't crash. That's the other thing. Do you accuse if you clickbait? Your review was clearly marked as your own opinion based on use and unsponsored by anyone. You're in the right. They in a way they were being rude, really, but you know, they're just trying to defend their add-on, which is something I understand. That's okay. Takey Takemo, I'm not a young chap, you know. I've been around the block and I've seen this many times in real life, in my real life, personal life, so that's okay. My 737 always go left. What is it? That's probably Yas Mohammed. That's probably I'm not sure which 737 is it. The Zevo. That's probably accurate if it steers to the left, but it would depend on the wind. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it. All right, so we are at 32. Top of descent is coming up, and it's probably more than likely this one here, not the other one there. I can see a couple of TDs there, and I'm not really sure why, but that's okay. By the way, we can turn this off for now. All right, let's take a look at the outside. Ooh, look at that. It's totally cloudy weather there with lots of rain, and I'm not sure that we normally would get rain at 32,000 feet, but there you go. That's the weather from X-Plane. I reset all failures and disable random failures. I believe so. If we go here, if we go to failures, report. No faults or malfunction detected. We can say reset again just to be sure. But yeah, there is something not right there for sure. All right, well, we're doing all right. Hopefully the sim won't crash. When I see things like this, you know, I get really worried that it might break the sim, but hopefully it won't. Can you put the weather overlay on the ND, please? Sure. Let's put the weather. Where should we put it? On the first officer's side. All right, there we go. It says no data. Wex says no data. For some reason. See that? Sees no data. So I'm not sure. It worked in a previous flight. Alright, let's put this here. Maybe now we get... No. Okay. System left. No data. Alright. So anyway, that's okay. One thing we need to do is we need to set the speed. So we've already set the ILS and approach course. We're going to set the flaps 30, 137, 30, and 137. Right, that is set. Excellent. So we have our speed set now. And that's just, this display is just really worrying me right now. All right. Let's bring up the weather. Now, the weather at East Midlands, you can see... Ooh, look at that, guys. 190 degrees, 12-knot wind. We have broken clouds at 2100. Current temperature is 14 Celsius. And QNH 1002. So we're in for some rough landing at East Midlands. Ooh, what happened to the frames? Oops. I'm not sure what happened to the frames. It's okay on the outside. I think it was loading something, and now it's alright. Yeah, that does happen in X-Plane sometimes. But guys, what do you think of this scene? It actually looks very nice. Look at that. I mean, the cloud scene, the cloudscape here looks very nice. Probably Orbex True Earth kicking in. That could be it, yeah. Sim 7375 clouds still need a lot of work. Absolutely, they do. Select WEX from one of the 5 black buttons on the panel below the FMC. Yeah, so we've done this. We've selected this, but it's not working. See, terrain test. No weather data. Terrain test is there, so we can put the terrain, but the weather is not working, or it says no data. So there you go. All right. It looks like let's see here, the top of descent, check altitude target. We've already said that. There is some problems with this. All right, I'm gonna wait. Altitude, see this? Check altitude target, and it's flickering. So that's the first TD. So I am not sure what is going on. So let's go ahead and do flight change. All right, and we've begun the descent now. It could have been that the second TD is the one in question, but no, it doesn't look like it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it was the second one. So it's hard to say. Yeah, it's probably was the second one, but I can see all this flickering here. So there's probably a bug there. Hello, sir. Is the active sky or default? That's default weather. You have to press the LH back button for WEX data. This one here. All right. All right. We're still not getting any weather. Yeah, still nothing is showing in terms of weather. All right, let's go back to VNav. Yeah, it's definitely not showing any weather today. We have this on WX, but nothing showing. Hitting that button gets rid of the no data problem, which it did, Carl, yeah. But I'm still not seeing any weather on display here. So, yeah, I'm not sure why. We can put this on WEX again. But there is nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Why does it keep saying check altitude target? It's already set to 2000. Now the TD isn't flickering, so that's good. Right, it's retarding the throttle. Alright, now it's doing what it's supposed to do. Wow, look at this scene here with all the clouds. And that's definitely Orbex True Earth right there. So that the initial drop in frames that we've had was probably due to Orbex True Earth being loaded. All right, so we passed the TD second TD mark here, but it looks like we are still. Okay, so if you see this diamond here, while it's here, it means that we are still too low for the current sector of the flight. As the diamond starts moving down to the center, that's when the aircraft will begin descending again. So right now we're still okay. We are at 28,000. And you'll see the diamond moving down, and then the aircraft will begin descending as well. So we'll leave it for now. And oof, look at the weather. Left, right, not both on standard. Oh. You are right. No, that is on standard. It should be 1013, but it looks like this is a bug maybe, because we can always go to 1013, but it says standard, but it doesn't reset it. So it looks like, I don't know if it's a bug or something we need to do. All right, you can see the diamond now moving down here, and once it starts going below the middle line, you'll see that the aircraft, you can see now the aircraft's begun the descent here. You can see that, about 1,600 feet per minute. Right, brilliant, very good. And we are probably flying now over Orbex True Earth. Yep, you can see it right there. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We're flying over Orbex True Earth. Beautiful scenery here of the United Kingdom as we make our way to East Midlands. Waiting for the EFB to come out for the PMDG. That would be really cool. Kakaku, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Right, looking good. Continuing the descent, 26,000 for 2,000. Here is a nice wing view for you guys. The clouds definitely need a lot of work still by Laminar. Good improvements overall, but they still need to do a lot of work to get it to the point where I can say that they've done, that they've nailed it. They haven't nailed it yet. They haven't nailed it yet. Right. But this is still a pretty decent scene here. The cloudscape are good. The light scattering is very good as well. Q8, recently I have been looking into getting some cloud improvements or something for XP, something like X-Enviro. Would you say is worth it? When I look at the videos, they look quite bad. X-Enviro is still not compatible with X-Plane 12. I think they are working on it. And so I know Magnus has told me that they are working on the X-Plane 12 version, but I don't have an ETA on that. Looking forward to the 8X Assault Falcon. Hope is released soon. I am definitely waiting for that aircraft by Aerobasque. And from the preview video that they've put out, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Active Sky XP 12 or XP Enhancer looks... Active Sky is good, yep, and it based on my test, it looks like it gives more accurate weather than X-Plane default. At least in all of the 20 plus tests that I've done. Right, we're looking good. We are at 23 for 2000. Here's a flyby. I'm afraid if I do too many of those, flybys, that the sim is going to crash, but hopefully it won't. All right, let's come down here. We're going to decrease the range a little bit, and we continue our descent. We're looking okay. Descent profile is good, 1,600 feet per minute. Very, very cloudy day here in the UK. Wow, that's the slowest flyby ever. Yeah, that you can achieve by hitting on Shift and 1. It creates a cinematic flyby, and if you want to do the regular flyby, which is the fast one, you go Shift and 2. So those are the two flyby modes that you have in X-Plane. Once XB12 is final, XNVAR will probably follow soon after. Yeah, I would think that's what they'll do. Are you going to do Cross the Pond? No, Sim737 pilot. Unfortunately, I do not have the time, so probably not. Good morning from rainy Southern California. Hello, David White. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here on the channel. How have you been? I hope all is well. And I have a friend who was in California last week. And, what I've learned is that they actually had a wedding in the Los Angeles area. And he told me the mountains over Los Angeles were snowy. The tips of the mountains were snowy. And it was pretty cold. So, yeah, I can't wait to be in Houston, actually, in June now. Shift 1 flyby, you almost made me believe my grandma was flying. Pretty sure streaming does take a hit to FPS. Absolutely. Yeah, it does. I live close to Seattle. Always rainy and cold here. Absolutely, yeah. Hello there, Oscar. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. I don't even know if Sam works for XP. Yeah, it does. No, it's not fully compatible, but yeah, most of the components, the main component works. How are you doing, Oscar? Yeah, Houston's going to be very hot. I know. Go around Flaps. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel, and the same goes to Spo2K. Welcome, guys. Oh, Sim737 Pilot, if you're going to be at FS Expo, please be sure to stop by booth H7, which is the Q8 Pilot booth. Just by the way, for you guys to know, I'm working on some goodies for you guys. So those who come and visit me at the booth will get some Q8 Pilot goodies. So be sure to stop by and say hello. And I will probably host a dinner at the last day of the expo, right after the expo closes, for those of you who'd like to come and have a chat with me over dinner. We'll do that. All right, 16,000 for 2,000. We're still going through some heavy clouds here, and the weather is very rainy, which is, by the way, unfortunate because I wanted to show you guys the beautiful Orbex scenery, True Earth scenery, that I've installed for this flight, but the clouds are actually looking pretty nice, so I don't mind it. Yeah, looking good. Barbecue dinner, I don't know if I can do barbecue dinner. But Texas barbecue, if you guys know of a good place there that you want to go to, please do recommend it. And yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be fun. I really can't wait to meet you. That's my son's. That was my son's iPad. Sorry about that. It's on charge. How do I turn this on? Alright, here we go. That's awesome. I have been to every expo. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Likewise, David. Hello, Raul Rodriguez. How are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. We're at 13,000. And, man, those clouds actually look really good. Let's take a look here at the outside. Look at that, guys. That's a beautiful scene. Now you can see the beautiful Orbex True Earth, England, or UK, actually. Look at that. Yeah, looks actually very good. Works really well. And no issues there with the setup. If you guys, by the way, interested in installing Orbex scenery for X-Plane 12, there is a tutorial. Just type in Orbex X-Plane 12. You should get the tutorial that I've made on how to do that. GG, good evening to you, my friend. Welcome. A3N, how are you doing, my friend? Ranger Rick, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. It's definitely, I totally agree there with you. It's hit and miss. Sometimes they look absolutely gorgeous, and sometimes they look horrendous. So, do you think Flight Factor will bring B757 into MSFS? No, I don't think so. I very much doubt. I join Carl in his doubts about that. I don't think FF will ever move to the Microsoft platform. All right, we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Continue our descent to, we're almost at 10,000 feet. Transition altitude is, I believe, 5,000 feet. We can double check that in. It is 5,000 feet. So we're gonna, or at 6,000 we can set the altimeter, but let me just quickly verify what was the altimeter setting. 1002. All right, perfect. All right, good, excellent. Oh, just look at the Orbex scenery there. Fantastic. I mean, with Orbex, and I really don't know why Orbex isn't really paying attention to, I think we need to, right, let's drag required. So let's extend the speed brakes. We are at 10,000 feet, obviously. And so let's bring up our landing lights, nose lights, and we're going to turn on the non-smoking and fasten seatbelt signs. And let's bring the speed down. 250 knots is the allowed speed below 10,000 feet. So let's bring this down. And let's see, is there a restriction? We are good there. All right, good. And now we can retract and arm the speed brakes. All right, we're good there. 1 nautical mile, then we'll begin the descent once more. The final approach speed today is going to be 137 knots. Everything is confirmed. Let's set the auto brakes to 2. Right, here we go. Excellent. Hello, Randy. Welcome aboard. It's probably because of their partnership with Microsoft. They're working together with Sobo on the New World updates. Do you know of a good Honolulu scenery, including PHNL? Raul, there is a new scenery just released yesterday of Hawaii. I'm not sure about PHNL specifically, or Honolulu, but there is a good, you know, a very good, it looks like it's a good scenery, use bathymetry as well to simulate the corals underneath the waters there. So I'll have to take a look at that before I make a final judgment. I haven't purchased the scenery, I just looked at it. So we'll see. All right, we are looking good. And continue now the descent. Drag is required. All right. Extend the speed brakes a little bit. Some strange things when we go through the clouds. Ah, now we are getting all the rain. Let's take a look here at the outside. Look at that, guys. That's pretty lousy weather there. Frames are acting up a little bit. By the way, of the current aircraft, the currently released aircraft, one of the most optimized aircraft for X-Plane 12 would be the Tolus. They do an excellent job in making their aircraft, including, by the way, their A340. They just really take the time to optimize their aircraft. And all right, so we continue the descent now to 2000, which seems like we need to descend a little faster. So looks like, yeah, that's okay. The aircraft autopilot system's taking care of that. But I might actually reduce the speed momentarily. We are about 34 nautical miles from the center fix for runway 27 at East Midlands. And I'm going to go ahead and set the altimeter. Let's go ahead and range 1002. Okay, so let's come here and we need to click once on the standard so it removes it, and then set this to 1002. Right, 1002, and we are at 6,000. Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing. Ooh, the frames are really acting up now. Standard 1002. All right, here we go. Excellent. And we'll bring it back. Hopefully, well, it's okay. I guess there are some places where things don't work as they should. But it's going to be a rough approach into East Midlands, that's for sure. And visibility isn't that great either. Let me set the heading bug. Alright, there we go. We're looking good. Our altitude is good. Speed is good. Definitely X-Plane has got a long way to go, including I worked at Microsoft 12 years. What do I know? Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Carl. See, I learn a new thing about you every day. All right, let's decrease the range here. And if we look here, we should be at, we should start reducing the speed. So, yeah. So here's what I'm going to do, folks. Now we can see the Orbex scenery clearly. This looks good. I have to say, this looks pretty good. Yeah, we should start reducing the speed. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Not now. Here is Orbex True Earth, UK.
Ground, Destination 8811. For your information, we have our pushback and awaiting.
Right. So we're doing okay in terms of the altitude. Our speed is, we need to reduce the speed. All right, so maybe 10 nautical miles from the center fix, we'll start reducing the speed to 170 knots. So we'll leave it for now. Pretty cloudy. That is correct, Carl. Yeah, it is. It does work, but it's not officially supported. That is correct. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and select speed 170. There we go. Continue the descent, and I am going to extend the speed brakes as well. Right, looking good. I'm going to give you as much as possible of the external views because I'm not sure if the replay is going to work today or not. So we'll do that in a minute. Right, speed check. Let's go to flaps 5. The final approach speed is 137. Right, 170 is set. Let's go ahead and decrease the range here. That's good. Excellent. Right, let's take a look here. Look at that, folks. Right, we're coming up to 2,000. Coming up to also the center fix for runway 27 at East Midlands. This looks very, very nice, I must say. It really changes things completely when you are flying. Why Iceland Air? It's a scheduled flight from Liege Airport in Belgium to East Midlands. It's a cargo flight in real life, but today we've selected the passenger variant. All right, localizer captured. Approach is armed. This looks really good, guys. I must say, it really just changes the entire look and feel of the sim. The experience changes when you are, you're flying with real-world scenery. All right, we're looking good. Here's the turn. You can see the localizer, glide slope, diamonds are displayed. And we're going to make the turn here shortly. The airport is to our left. Why is it pitching up like that? That's probably the speed. All right, let's go ahead and go for flaps 15. That's better. Switching down, and we are making the turn towards East Midlands now. Look at this beautiful turn here with this beautiful scenery. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the wing view. Yeah, this looks absolutely gorgeous. All right. We have the runway in sight. Needle started moving. We are going to set flaps. We're going to reduce our speed to 160 knots. Landing gear is coming down. Flaps 20. We have the runway in sight. And let's go ahead and reduce our speed to our approach speed, 137 knots. Landing gear is down, 3 greens. Speed check. Flaps 25.
Schiphol planner, goedemorgen, Transavia 5313, Delta 31, ready. Transavia 5313, for the emergency with Victor Q81011, ground.
And flaps 30.
28101 and ground 121805.
Let me adjust my throttle. And we will disconnect the autopilot at 1,000 feet and hand fly the approach. This looks very immersive, ladies and gentlemen. Right, 1,000.
1,000.
And auto throttle disengaged. My aircraft.
Planner, goedemorgen. Kilometer 1. Victor Charlie 6 ready. Kilometer Victor, goedemorgen with information Victor Q81011, ground.
You can definitely feel the wind.
Q81011 and ground 1005, kilometer Victor.
Just give it a little bit of rudder there.
500.
Good morning, Lufthansa 5 Alpha, Bravo 23, requesting Charlie Foxtrot starting to that.
We're a bit off the glide slope.
So for that 5 Alpha, you finished the item?
Minimums.
Oh, we are already finished with the item.
Glide slope.
Started 5 Alpha.
100.
Thank you.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to East Midlands Airport in the United Kingdom. Reversers. .80 knots and manual braking. Woo, beautiful. Lovely. Very strong wind as we came to land, but makes the landing so much more enjoyable when, you know, there is crosswind like that, and it makes it challenging, makes it fun, and also a good spectacle for you guys. Yeah. All right, we're going to taxi to the first available position. It looks like there is a Dash 8 there getting ready to push back and depart. By the way, this is the default airport, default East Midlands Airport in X-Plane. I do have the Orbix airport, but with that airport, you will not get the X-Plane 12 features, such as the wet runways and things like that. So I decided to just use the default airport, which is good enough in my view. Alright, this guy is heading right towards us. Alright, we'll just, sorry. Alright, there we go. We're gonna take the spot of that dash. And I'm going to take a look at the replay. Hopefully the sim won't crash. Because lately it has been having a tendency to do that. But, yeah. Alright. Parking brake is set, and let's attempt to do a... Hey, Rand Cooley, how are you doing? I didn't know you were here. Alright, so let's do toggle replay mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to go very slowly here. Alright. Play. Okay, perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, now you can see the beautiful scenery by Orbix True Earth and this 757. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful sight of the aircraft and the scenery. Here's the tower view. One of the things I love about X-Plane is the replay system. That was pretty cool. Let's try that again. Lovely. And let's do it one more time with the wing view. God, look at the scenery, guys. I mean, it really does change things quite a bit. And it makes the sim look completely different. Look at that. Here's the wing view. I must say, this looks fantastic. Absolutely lovely. All right. So, Oh, there's already an aircraft in our position here. Well, that's okay. No worries. Ryanair has kind of decided to come on top of us. But all right. By the way, just for you guys, this is what things look like. This is what the sim is looking like with Orbex, Orbex True Earth. Works perfectly well. No issues whatsoever with Orbex there. And now I want to very briefly just kind of on this Air 3 Sim 3D whatever and the let me just bring up the aircraft, okay? Let me just bring up the aircraft. I know this is not the purpose of this stream, but I think I just want to show you a few things. And as I said, I start my reviews with a 10 and I start deducting points. Now this is the aircraft. All right, and you know, it comes in several liveries, UK red ribbon and so on and so forth. So we'll use UK since we are in the UK. And let's see here, we're going to put it on maybe this area here. Confirm, start new flight, start new flight. If it crashes, we'll just start the sim again. That's okay. All right, now the reason I want to bring this up is I would just want to tell you very quickly why I have put a post on the community and said that this I do not recommend buying this aircraft. And it cost about what, about $60. So this add-on is a $60 add-on. So all right. So here is the aircraft, right? This is the Cessna Citation, all right, by AbSim whatever, AbSim 3D, AirSim 3D, okay? All right. Now, we start with a 10, and I'm going to say this about the external model. The external model is actually not bad. Okay, the external model is a reasonably well-modeled aircraft. It is not, you know, not completely, like if you zoom in here, you can see all the flaws in the textures, all right? So you can see all these jagged lines, the lines are not straight, definitely not very high resolution there. So, from that perspective, the external model, by the way, as a model, is a very good model of the aircraft, is a very authentic model of the aircraft, looks like the real aircraft. I do like the details on the landing gear, but overall, no complaints there with the exterior model, okay? But again, it's not the highest fidelity possible, okay? There is, I've seen much better for this price. And I will quote the Phenom by Airbus, the Phenom 300, which has just superior textures to this aircraft without a doubt. But overall, a good effort by the developers to create a high fidelity representation of the aircraft. Now, so far, I'll keep the 10. I'm not going to deduct the marks now, all right? So we'll leave it there. But if I go to the cockpit, now what is this? For $60? Sorry, this does not look good at all. The reflections are off. The resolution here, look at these here. I mean, look at those panels. You can look at these switches, look at the edges around those switches. They look, you know, sort of substandard again. You can see the resolution here. It looks so bad. And, you know, all over the cockpit, the representation. By the way, none of the circuit breakers are functional. They are just modeled there. And you can see the low res line there. Again, you can very easily see that you know, this has not you know, the developer, from a texture perspective, they have not really paid attention to really you know, to the aircraft. I mean, look at it. I mean, would you call this immersive? I would not call this immersive. to be very frank. This is not a very good texture for the price. You can see again the low quality textures here. You can see it here. You can see it all over this aircraft. It's just not a very well textured and modeled aircraft from the inside. The rudder pedals, again, while they're attempting to look, to give it a used look, they look horrendous. They don't look good at all. Some parts, by the way, look at those seats. I mean, what is this? I'm not sure, I'm not sure why, how to call this immersive. This is not immersive, okay? So if we look here also at the back, all right, so this is, all right, so again, guys, I'm Q8 pilot. I don't do clickbaits, okay? When I know what I'm talking about. So again, this is the back of the aircraft. I do like, by the way, the details that they have these cups and bottles. And I do like some of the work that they've done here. So this seat actually doesn't look that bad. But look at this again. Texturing is it's not good. This is not good. This is not a $60 add-on. Sorry. All right. So the texturing of the aircraft all over is not done very well. And really, considering how complex this aircraft is, I think the texturing overall leaves a lot to be desired. So there goes 1 point off. Okay. I suppose the avionics are the worst part by far. I don't want coffee stains. All right. So can we see the banner? I'll take you through. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm not sure if it's got one, but all right. Let's go here. All right. So that's the. Apparently, I'm not. Yeah, it looks like a seat, and you've got the faucet there as well. So yeah, you've got it in. Not sure what this is here. Is it a reflection of the, or is it just a picture? I'm not sure. It looks like it's a picture. Or maybe it's a reflection. I don't know. Anyway, the texturing is pretty bad. All right. So this is not $60, and for the guys at AirSim 3D, this is not immersive by the flight simming standards. All right, this might be a very highly complex aircraft, and I'll show you guys some of the really nice things they've done in this aircraft. But this is not immersive. Okay, this 3D cockpit is not immersive. Okay. Now, by the way, one thing they've done, and by the way, even the oxygen mask here is not modeled. So again, some of the things that and again, the aircraft does not really have a control panel, and I would expect something of this, of this price to have at least a control panel where you can toggle things, set your weight and balance. It doesn't have any of that. All right. So that's another thing there. Now, the sounds, the engine sounds, I will tell you guys, the engine sounds, the sounds, the engine sounds aboard this aircraft are phenomenal, okay? I will give them that. But all the interior sounds are just really bad. Hear this out. Okay, all the sounds are exactly the same. All of them. All right? So, is that immersive? No, it's not immersive. Okay? Again, points off for the textures. Another point off for all the substandard sounds in the cockpit. And definitely this is not what I call high fidelity. It's not what I call as immersive. Is it study level? It might be, by the way. It might be a study level aircraft, but by my standards, it's not worth $60 still, even with all the fidelity. Again, I'm talking from the flight simmer's perspective. I'm talking from the general flight simmer perspective, okay? It might be a perfect tool for pilots, by the way. It can be a perfect training tool for pilots. But for the average flight simmer who wants to go and have fun and feel immersed, this will not do it for you guys. And if you feel otherwise, please go ahead and support the developer and buy the aircraft. I have nothing against the developer. Those are my opinions. All right. So now another thing by design, if you go, for example, here and you turn on the battery, right? You'll see there's nothing coming on, and you can't talk, you can't even start the APU, you can't do anything here. And this is by design. So please do read them. And again, you can see how lousy the textures are here. But so you do need to read the manual. We'll get to that in a minute, okay? So what you need to do, let me turn off the battery, and we're gonna hop to the outside. So let me see if I can do this here. All right, so you have to go to the back of the aircraft, right? And now this is one of the nice things, actually, battery disconnect, and you have to open this, and you actually have to connect the battery. Now that, I'll give them, this is really cool. This is a really nice detail, and we just click here to connect the battery, and now the battery is connected, and now we can close the battery disconnect and head back to the cockpit. So now you can turn on the battery right here. Now you can see again, the sounds are really lousy, very, very bad sounds. And these are all generic sounds again, not worthy of an aircraft that costs $60 in my view. And by the way, guys, I've said many of the similar things about the Tolas A340, but they really took it to heart. They've made a lot of changes to the Tolas, and they, produced a very high quality add-on. Right, then you need to come here and turn this to normal, and we can start the APU. All right, let me go ahead and start the APU. So turn this on, and now we can turn on the APU. Generator can go on. Why does it want to turn on? Let's come back here. There we go. Avionics power is on. And yeah, all right. So now the thing is coming up. And from here, if you go to, you can switch these. But again, you can see the sounds are pretty bad. Very, very bad sounds. And then you have access to the checklist, by the way, here as well. So you can go through the entire checklist from within the MFD here. Right. So if you click here on normal, you have the normal checklist, and then you can click here and start going through the checklist there. Now, another thing I don't particularly like is the fact that there is no way you can set this. For example, if you look at all the newer aircraft, again from the simming perspective, you have to click, and by the way, this is default. Looks like this is the default G1000. All right, so again, this is not, I'll leave it, I'll leave it for you guys to decide, okay? Now, the checklist, normally what I'd like to see is a way that I can set this as done. And this doesn't seem like, you can do that with this aircraft. You have the entire checklist, and if you click, you can go to the next page, and then you can turn it off and go, you can't do it here, you just can do it here. So you can go to the next page, third page, and then you're done with this. Then you click on the next one, you go for the APU, and so on and so forth. Now this is it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing today, but based on this initial initial assessment of the aircraft, and from the flight simmer perspective, this aircraft to me is not worth $60. And I don't care how much systems are simulated. Another thing is, so far I've deducted 2 points, one for the textures, one for the lousy sounds in the cockpit. But I want to show you guys another thing, okay? So let me go to, no, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So yeah, it is a complex aircraft. I agree. And let's go to, what is this? Air car project. Now they're doing cars for, where is this aircraft? All right, here it is. Right? So $60 for this aircraft. And they've got a nice support page there. They're answering all. They're very active. I'll give them that, which is good. If we click here, all right. So pilot operation handler. Now I wanted to show you this, and the reason I wanted to show you this is because documentation, especially for an aircraft that is this complex, right, is essential. This is by far the most confusing documentation I have seen for an aircraft. The colors are just horrible, and there is no way that that one can go through this manual and not have a eye ache afterwards. So it's a very detailed manual, by the way. So it is a very complex aircraft, and you do have and the reason why, by the way, you couldn't turn on the APU, because you have to follow the proper procedures in order to get this to work. So if you don't follow the right sequence, the buttons will not actually work. Now, is that immersive? No, it's not, and it's not realistic either, because in real life, I would be able to flip the switch. It probably won't do anything, but I can flip it. I can't flip the switch up if I don't have the avionics turned on. I don't think that's accurate, to be honest. And while I know that this is something the developer says that this is by design done this way, so you can't actually start this button. It won't be operational unless you go through the correct procedure. So in my view, the Cessna Citation that comes by default with X-Plane 12 is far better in terms of the design, the textures, the modeling, and by the way, in terms of system fidelity, it's not bad, but of course it's not as complex as this one. So for those reasons, guys, and the documentation, while it's very extensive, it's not very easy to follow and not very easy to read. So from the flight sim perspective, again, for the flight simmers who are looking for a high quality add-on, I would not call this a high quality add-on. I would call this a complex add-on that requires a lot of work, and my score would be, just because I haven't seen everything yet, but what I would give this score is I will give it a 6 out of 10 at this price, with this looking, cockpit looking like that, with all these textures and the documentation, the sounds. They're just not there. They're just not there. So I agree with everything you said about the default citation of X-Plane 12. Yeah. Q8, my man, I missed the start of your stream. How have you been? I'm doing very well, Benjamin George Jr. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. So, guys, for those reasons, I don't just speak. I don't do clickbaits. And in fact, out of respect for the developers, I did not make a video of this aircraft because I wanted them to take a little bit of time to fix. I thought that they're going to update their texturing and all of that, but obviously they are not. Yeah, on day one you release it without issues. That's okay. That's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. No credit really for that, other than you've done good testing, so that's good. That's what that's part of what we pay for. We don't want broke add-ons, but for those reasons, I do not recommend this aircraft. And if you guys like what you see, of course, please go ahead and purchase the aircraft. Spend your $60. But the aircraft does not receive the Q8 pilot seal of approval for its current asking price. Benjamin Jr., thank you very much for $9.99 super chat there, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have 2,300 hours in this Citation, approximately. Various models, lots of Vino. Oh, cool. So we have a real-world pilot here. And keep in mind, I have flown this jet in real life many times. I have a lot of Citation time. Oh, cool. Yeah. You actually have it at 7 out of 10, as I recall. I'm being generous. Yeah, I probably give it a. I probably give this one. I give this aircraft probably a 6. They need to work on the texturing. One, they need to honestly work on these interior sounds. Again, by the way, you see this? I mean, you can't have better sounds than this, right? They've got a lot of things simulated, by the way, which is a shame, really. But textures need work, especially interior textures. The sound needs work, and the documentation needs work. And this aircraft must have an electronic flight bag or some sort of control panel for for flight simmers to basically use it for weight and balance, removing the static elements, all that good stuff. All of that should be within an electronic flight bag. I would love to see the circuit breakers. Again, this is, by the way, I think somebody posted on the community post on the same one that this is better than that they're claiming, Airsim 3D are claiming that this is better than the Challenger 650. By no means this is better than the Challenger 650. It does not even compete with the Challenger 650 at all. So yeah, textures, interior sounds, and fidelity documentation is sparse. No EFB, no control panel to complete the experience. Absolutely, Carl. That is exactly why why I do not recommend this aircraft for 60. Sorry, guys. I'll pass. Of course, I did purchase the aircraft and I was genuinely waiting. I did not want to do a review and say anything I didn't want to say because I know this is the early release of the aircraft. So for those reasons, I don't. And by the way, even the displays here. I mean, Carl is here, so he's a real-world Citation pilot. I'm not sure these fonts are actually authentic to the real aircraft, but you can correct me, Carl. Beast the Challenger is if you uninstall the Challenger 650 and compare it. Yeah. The Challenger 650 is something else, and I just love it. So, yeah. Just, again, by looking here, there's no control panel. There's nothing proposed with it. So, and the failure are the default failures. So I don't really see how this can be better than the Challenger 650. So that is it for today, guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed the stream and our earlier departure out of Liege Airport in Belgium and our landing here at East Midlands. Not sure what happened here, but it looks like we lost the Orbex scenery for some reason. Yeah, it's probably a glitch. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed the flight. I hope that you've enjoyed the stream, and I hope that you I hope that you were able to now follow my drift as to why I have not recommended the the Citation aircraft. I think I state the reasons very clearly. And by the way, if you want to purchase the aircraft, please go ahead and do so. If you want to support, I've supported the developer myself, and I purchased the aircraft. So and I left their comment pinned in the community tab. If you'd like to go and read, please go ahead and do so. I want to thank you very much for being here this evening. I thoroughly enjoyed being with you guys and enjoyed the interaction. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.